What is up, guys? JayFerGaming here. Welcome to the highlights of the All-Star race in F1XL. I do apologise that these highlights are up late. I have been ill this week and I've been waiting for my voice to improve. You can probably still hear that it's slightly off compared to usual, but I think it's well enough to commentate on this one. So, the end of Season 7, I was champion of League 1. If you missed any of them highlights, I recommend you do check them out. But this is like a celebration in our league. The top 8 drivers in League 1 combined with the top 8 drivers in League 2 to make 8 teams, and then the winning team gets a bit of pride, I think it is. So first in League 1 will combine with 8th in League 2. So second in League 1 will combine with 7th in League 2. I hope I've explained that well. So it kind of makes fair, even teams. And yeah, the scoring system's different. First place will get 16 points, second 15, and so on and so forth. So you realistically need 2 cars to finish the race. So it's going to be very interesting to see who actually wins this. And it's actually 100% around Singapore of all places, which I've done it before in career mode. It's very difficult indeed. In qualifying, we did qualify 5th. The likes of Sigma and Vidal at the front. No surprise there. So 5th out of 8 League 1 drivers. And then all the others in League 2 isn't too bad. My teammate is Bullet Wound in 10th. He's a bit of a veteran at League 2, so I'm hoping he can put in a good performance. Hoping I can as well. In my sexy McLaren, away we go. And once again we get a delayed start. There's something up with this game at the moment. And Fireman, who's been a thorn in my side recently, gets ahead of us. Splays us on our inside. We made slight contact with him. So we're going to try and get him back here if we can. We've got Dark Pred on our tail as well, so it's been a pretty clean start from all the League 1 drivers. We're all at the front and just looking to make up some positions, but there's no need to be crazy at this point. There's 61 races. This race is going to last probably nearly 2 hours, so there's no point making any stupid moves, but we're so close at the front. Anything could happen here, and we're looking for a gap, but we're not going to find it in this section of the track, I don't think, so we'll be a little bit patient. Try and get some rhythm with this car. I'm not used to the McLaren car, it's a little bit strange, but Fireman's holding up Splazer a little bit at this point. I'm going to look on the inside, and we've been hit by Splazer, who would have got a nudge from Fireman. Pred's gone through, and Wild Jack looks like he's going for a move up the inside. League 2 driver here, but he's gone too deep, so we're going for a switchback to get the inside line down here, and I think we're going to recover this position. And yes, we have. Very close indeed, but clean racing between the two of us. It's a little bit strange racing with some of these League 2 guys because I don't practice during the week, so I haven't raced against some of these guys for over a year. I'd say since like F1 2013, 2014 even. So yeah, it's gaining a bit of trust in this race and trying to remember what they used to be like, but most of them are pretty good drivers and they do drive to a high standard. But on to lap 4 here. We're going to try and go for a move on Pred if we can, close in with DRS. He's trying to go for a move on Fireman. Fireman's gone defensive, and we could get both of them here. Can we go around the outside of Fireman? He turns in a little bit on us, forces us slightly wide, but I think we got the move done. Can we do it? We've gone too deep. Oh, so close to hitting the barrier. We've kept Fireman behind us. What a move that was. Double overtake. The opportunity just arose, and I had to take it. And now we're up to 4th, and now we're on the back of Splazer, trying to get into the top 3, and he doesn't have DRS to defend, so this could be a relatively simple move. Let's see if we can get this done. I think we can, and there we go, up into 3rd position, and things are looking not too bad. Frozen's just ahead of us by a second, and I think just ahead of him is Vidal, who has taken the lead. Sigma, actually, yeah, I forgot about that. Sigma disconnected from the lobby just before the race, so that's very unlucky for him. Things are not going well for him recently, but we're on the back of Frozen here, trying to get into 2nd position, and I was going to go into the pits to try and go for the undercut, but I saw Vidal was going into the pits, so might be an idea to stretch these tyres out, or potentially go for a move if we can get close enough. But yeah, I don't want to pit on the same lap as Frozen, because I am losing time here. I think at this point of the race I'm quicker than him. I'm probably better in terms of tyre wear. And is he going into the pits? I thought about going in there, but he's gone in. He's really put me off as well, made me go wide there. But we've taken the lead, and now we're going to try and stretch this stint out if possible. So here we go. We actually decide to go into the pits at the end of the next lap. My tyres weren't going off. Didn't want to lose too much time to the likes of Vidal and Frozen. But this McLaren, it's actually the first time I've driven this car on this game, and at first it really did feel weird when you have the different sound of the power unit, and the car, it obviously looks different, but it kind of feels different as well, so it took a while to get used to it, but it feels quite good. I really do enjoy driving this McLaren. And yeah, we've gone on to the prime tyres, because I knew from that other cars were going to get the undercut. I'd come out at the back of the pack I'm fighting with, so I thought going for the primes would be a good idea. And we actually stuck with them very well indeed. That's Frozen and Feynman just ahead of us. They've been battling side by side for so many laps, but Frozen, I think, made contact with the barrier just before that under the grandstand tunnel, and he's got damage and he's going into the pits. He's going to change his front wing, so he could be out the running now. So up to third. We're not far behind Feynman at all, and on the prime tyres we're going to get these out the way, but there has been a message to say that it is going to rain, and as you can see the track is a little bit damp, but it's not wet enough to pit yet. So hopefully it kind of rains in like 10 minutes or something, so we can stretch our tyres out. Then the ones on the options can either try and stretch it out and have absolutely destroyed tyres, or make an extra pit stop. Vidal's gone into the pits, I'm not sure what tyres for, but now we're closing in on the back of Feynman, whose tyres must be about 16 laps old, and we're coming behind Fruit Loops and my teammate Bullet Wound, so they're holding Feynman up nicely and could give me an opportunity to take the lead here. So is it time to pit? I'm wondering, when is the optimum time to go into the intermediates? My engineers told me that we should think about going to the intermediates, but it just doesn't feel wet enough yet. And if anything, me sliding around is because of tyre wear. So Fruit Loops finally gets out the way. And now, Bullet Wound is going to be an absolute... Oh, where is he? No, we just hit Feynman there. That was lucky I didn't put him in the wall there. But Bullet Wound, my teammate, is going to be an absolute genius. Hold up Feynman perfectly and give me an opportunity to go for a move. Let's see if we can get a run into the final corners. No, we can't. So we're going to try and set him up into the first corner. Feynman's gone wide. We're going to get... Oh no, we're not going to get DRS for some reason. Not too sure why. I don't think it's wet enough. And we're going to go for the move up the inside into turn 1. And yes, there we go. First position. And let's see if Feynman fights back. But his options have got to be so warm at this point. I'm not too sure how he's making them last so well for so long. So I'm going to guess DRS has been disabled because of the weather, but it doesn't feel wet enough for inters yet. I'm thinking maybe in a couple of laps when these tyres go off. But Feynman's going for a move. We give him just enough room, and I think we're going to try to defend here. We're on the inside. We're sliding all over the shop, but we're keeping the car under control. We just have to give him a little bit of space there. I tried to squeeze him out, but just couldn't do it yet. And yeah, we're struggling a little bit. Feynman's still on our inside, only just though, so if he outbreaks us here, there's no doubt he will take the lead. We clipped the wall there as well, which was very dangerous indeed, and that was a great battle with Feynman, though we are losing time to the likes of Vidal. But in terms of this race, I don't have to win this. I know that a podium realistically is pretty good, as long as my teammate Bullet Wound finishes the race, which is the main thing. If I finish 3rd and he finishes 8th, for example, we could easily win this. The key thing is 2 cars to finish this race. That's the main emphasis. And at the end of lap 29, I decided, yes, it's going to be time for intermediate tyres. Though I'm not too sure what the other cars around me are doing. So let's see if these tyres actually work and we can get them up to temperature. If not, we'll probably lose a pit stop or a lot of time. So let's see how they feel coming out the pits and where we're going to end up. Vidal's already ahead of us. And there, Feynman did get an undercut. He gained... Yeah, it's probably about the same compared to just before the pit stop. And let's see. These tyres don't feel too bad coming out the pits. A bit slippy, bit slidey. But we got through that corner okay. Back end stepping out a little bit, but not too bad overall. Now, we've lost a little bit of time to Feynman. DRS has been disabled again. So it was enabled before. It just keeps changing between disabled and enabled. So it's really confusing me in terms of strategy. Am I the only one on inters? Am I actually on the right tyres? That's the question. I think it's really right in the middle between dries and inters. And the yellow flag ahead. Feynman's clipped the barrier. Oh, he's done the classic newbie move of the rear tyre clipping the barrier. That's unlucky from his part, but I've taken advantage of that and taken second position. DRS has been enabled again, which is annoying. We've just slapped the Force India of Splazer, who we were fighting with earlier on in the race. So it just shows if you make one mistake you can lose a lot of time. There's Frozen as well. So we just lapped 2 League 1 drivers who had a pretty good start to the race, and we're just over halfway through and things are not going so well for them. So lap 41, we skipped quite far ahead, not too much action happened. Vidal is ahead of us and Frozen is on our left here. He's trying to lap himself, but I'm coming into the pits and I'm actually going onto the dry tyres. I did stretch these tyres out because I wanted to leave enough laps that I could do make one more pit stop, and now I'm going to go into the prime tyres, and hopefully that will be till the end of the race. I think 20 laps on these tyres wouldn't be too bad. And let's see if these tyres get up to temperature as well, or are we still between compounds of dry and inters. We're in third now, just ahead of Daunton Conch, who's a League 2 driver. Relatively new driver as well, but he's got some great pace. He's definitely a driver to look out for in the future. And yeah, he's put in a good performance for his team. So is Feynman in the pits? I'm not too sure what's going on here. I think he is. Yes, he is. And that is us up into second place. We've gained quite a bit of time with that undercut. So that's worked out pretty well. And so yeah, we're far behind Vidal. I think it looks like we're fighting with Feynman for second place here. Oh, bullet wounds, no! He's retired from the race. But actually, I think he crashed out looking at the minimap. Yeah, it looks like just before the tunnel under the stadium section, he's crashed out. So that's a shame. And it looks like our team's not going to win this. So basically, I'm driving for pride now. And I'm actually in first place because Vidal went on to, I think he went on to options. And now he's going to go for options once again. Clearly, he knows he's going to overtake me to win this race. And he's just going for the fastest lap. Because my primes are absolutely going off, about to be shot. He's on brand new option tyres. He's a beast around here, so yeah, I'd basically just let him through. There's no point fighting it. The battle here is between myself and Feynman for second position, and I do have a 4-second lead over him. And on to the final lap. I did hold him back. The tyres weren't feeling good at all, but me and him had a similar strategy, I think, in the final stint. So we're coming home, 100% around Singapore. Very enjoyable race. The All-Star race of Season 7, I finished in second position. So it's a League 1 first 3, and it's actually the 3 drivers who finished the top 3 in the driver standings in Season 7. So it just shows that who the better drivers are, and I think the cream always comes to the top. But Daunton Conch 4th, Wildjack 5th, both League 2 drivers finished on the lead lap and beat Pred and Splazer from League 1. Not too many finishes, but that's expected in a race like this. A lot of penalties, apart from me and Feynman. Shows who's been corner cutting around here. But I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. This is the last of my F1XL highlights. Probably until the 2016 game where we're going to do Season 8. But we are doing the Season 7.5, which is a filler season really. But if you're interested in joining, go to f1xl.co.uk. I won't be doing highlights, but I will have other series on instead. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time out. Goodbye.